There he is. Yeah, that was the problem. Okay. Hey, it's Flan again. Um, I yep, l- uh, absolutely 100%. I stopped streaming to Twitch immediately. The question and the answer popped up. So, we're just gonna keep we're just gonna keep the YouTube stream going and forget about the rest. Um, choo, choo, choo. Just give me 1 second. There is one thing I need to do real quick before I can move forward. Mhm. Okay. I'll deal with the bot problem later, I guess. Um, okay. So to recap, because this is a new bot and I'm gonna probably delete the old one. Maybe I'll edit them together. I don't know. Uh, but in case I decide not to. Oh, also, am I still? Oh, yeah, but you're still seeing that. Sorry. Hey, I'm here. Hey, hello. To recap, the question was: I have 3 BT16-102 Magnum on X antibody with immunity on the battle area. My opponent DNA digivolves to EX3063 Imperial Dramon Dragon mode. Makes me choose a Digimon, and all other Digimon are going to be deleted. Um, since I am the one choosing the effects targets, is Magnamon X able to protect itself? And what I decided is that no, it cannot, because even though Magnamon X only protects itself against enemy effects or opponent effects, um, Imperial Dramon Dragon mode, even though you get to choose, it's still Imperial Dragon mode's effects, and there will be no deletion. Sergeant, is this the new Gura stream? Bro, I don't. I'm already sad, brother. Um, I um, I wish. Um, this is, however, Flan, and Flan is trying to take his judge test. And he's also gonna check the answer to this question. Um, my three Magnum will be protected since my deletion effect. Uh, the effect comes from Imperial Dramon, so even if they had only protection to opponents' Digimon effects, they would also be protected from the deletion. So yeah, there's no deletion happening here, unfortunately. I love it. I love it when Magnamon X dies. It's like my favorite thing in this game. But unfortunately and alas, this time is not enough. Which is fine because this is already Imperial Dramon. Purple Imperial Dramon is already pretty strong. So, um, whew. Why are we going to question? Did I skip question 2? Hey guys, we're doing 14 questions today because I skipped question 2. But don't I have I do have an answer for question 2. Wait, what is question 2? Wait, hold on. um wait. Uh uh-huh. What do I have here? Huh. So it is the same question, which means that there is a point somewhere along the way where I just don't have one of these questions. Okay. No, I didn't just skip the number. That would have been the easy solution. No, so like I labeled it number 3. Yes, I did skip the number on the presentation. But on my answer cheat sheet, it's still labeled number 2, which means that there is, and I also have answers from 1 to 15, which means that there is one that I just don't have. And this is a surprise for you and for me. Everyone involved, we're in for a treat because we have no idea which one I don't have. In the meantime, I do have a Digimon with a non-deletion effect, with the same DP as my opponent's BT16064 Dorugoramon. I attack Dorugoramon with the Digimon with the on-deletion effect. And before both Digimon are deleted, my opponent declares BT17073 Dex Dorugoramon's all turns effect to Digiball from the trash, which activates first, it being an interruptive effect. We're gonna see it in a moment. My Digimon's on deletion, which activates first. Sorry. My Digimon's on deletion or Dex Dorugoramon's when Digivolving. So let's see. The scenario that we're proposed is Dorugoramon on the opponent's side is suspended. I have, in this case, I chose Necromon because it's a recent card that's, fresh in my mind. And it has an on deletion. So, and it has the same DP as Dorugoramon. So it was perfect. So I decide that the way I'm gonna get out of this Dorugoramon situation is I'm gonna swing into it and match DP. In this situation, we're gonna tie and we're gonna both be deleted. However, my opponent has Dex Dorugoramon in trash, so they've decided to activate that effect. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to move this to pull this out. Yep, and then this is gonna be suspended because that's how Dorugoramon was. The effect, in fact, I'm gonna fucking flip it over to 0 because I want to read the card. So the effect on Dex Dorugoramon reads, trash all turns, when one of your Dorugoramon would be deleted, by digivolving it into this card without paying the cost, prevent that deletion. And that's an interruptive effect. It says when one of your Dorugoramon would be deleted, remember that would is an interrupted keyword, meaning that it happens before the rest of the sentence, in this case, be deleted. So this guy digivolves into Dex Dorugoramon, and it's when digivolving effect is pending, which reads the Digivolve 3, one of your opponent's Digimon, then if Dorugoramon is in this Digimon's evolution cards, or this Digivolved from the trash, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. So it's all going to die. Supposedly. But we also have Necromon's on deletion effect that reads You may play one level 5 or lower Digimon card with the ghost straight from your trash without paying the cost. In this situation, if Dex Dorogoramon's when Digivolving effect triggered first, Necromon wouldn't be able to activate its own deletion effect. Well, no, actually, no, yeah, it would. It would just trigger after. Yeah, it's an on deletion, so he would end up being deleted unless it has sources, in which case it would be the Digivolve first and it wouldn't be able to trigger that effect. But we're going to stick to what we have on the board. So yes, it would be able to trigger, it would just trigger after. What's important here is what the triggers are. So this effect and Dexdorugoramon's effect were activated at the time of combat resolution when it was determined that both Digimon would be deleted. Now the interruptive effect in this case is interrupting deletion, but once that effect has resolved, aka once Dex Dorugoramon has digivolved, or Dorugoramon has digivolved into Dex Dorugoramon, and it resulted in it not being deleted, we have to resume the interaction that was interrupted. So in this situation, the trigger for both effects was Necromon swinging into, yeah, the deletion of combat. There's also this one's actually difficult because this one, the evolving, is the newest trigger. So you would think that it resolves first. Which one is it actually? Let me run through the interaction again. They fight. This Digivolves from trash before deletion. Okay. Does Necromon activate before Dexdorugoramon? No, I don't think so, because this is an interruptive effect, so it's wood. And then this Digivolves, and it's at the newest trigger. So actually, I think Dexdorugoramon triggers first. Yeah, because it Digivolves is the new trigger. Even though my opponent, even though I have turn priority as the Necromon player, Dexdorugoramon is the newest trigger by being at the evolution. And these two triggers, Necromon and Dorugoramon, or rather Necromon and Dexdorugoramon's trash effect is what I should say. They both trigger at the same time as a result of combat. Dexdorugoramon is the only newest trigger. Yeah, so my answer to this, I'm gonna lock in Dexdorugoramon results first, the when the evolving effect. And actually, does the alternate effect also trigger? When another Digimon is deleted, you may unsuspend this Digimon. No, that will trigger last because we're still waiting for Necromon to be deleted, right? So, okay. Yeah, final answer. Dexdorugoramon when the evolving effect. So, the Dexdorugoramon's trash effect triggers first, then Dexdorugoramon's when the evolving effect, then Necromon's on deletion, And then um, Dexdorogoramon's all turns effect to unsuspend. That's my answer. I'm gonna check it. Let's see. Uh, uh, I've just been reading through things. Uh, Meaning it's interruptive. So before the deletion, double checking my Yeah. Okay, here's something. The BT17 Dex line can be broadly thought of through the following sequence when determining the Digimon is getting deleted by battle. The results of battle are determined in the case of both Digimon having the same DP, both are deleted at the same time. Interruptively, the effect of the Dex line sees that the Digimon is being deleted and can prevent that deletion by evolving into the Dex forming trash. All effects as a result of battle concluding now trigger. Turn player has priority in this instance of simultaneously trigger effects controlled by different players, such as if there are effects that trigger on deletions or effects that care that a Digimon was deleted. Effects caused by an immediate trigger effect, as they are referred in the CRM, must wait until after the effect that caused the immediate effect to trigger concludes before the triggered effect triggers and activates. What? Must wait until after the effect that caused the immediate effect to trigger concludes before the... Okay, yeah. And the immediate effect that triggered it was deletion. Combat in this case concludes before the triggered effect triggers. And also Digivolving, I guess. Okay. So I was wrong. According to this answer, um it was the other order that I was considering. Oh, that would explain it. Um so okay, the results of the battle are determined. The Dex line interrupts combat, or no, not combat, interrupts deletion to Digivolve, and then the rest of the effects, the pending effects, trigger before the new trigger can happen. This because this is all happening as a result of an interruptive effect. So, to translate that into English, Necromon triggers before Dexdorogoramon's when the Evolving effect. So he will go to the trash and he will be able to play out Phantomon. And then Dexdorogoramon would kill Phantomon, and the Necromon player will be able to play out something else. Okay. I suppose if there were stuff like Violet in Boots in play, that would now trigger first on my side because it's the newest trigger. But that's not the scenario that we're being shown here. Okay. We're going to move on to the next one. Okay, number 4, which is actually number 3, maybe, is the following play valid? I have BT19064 Justimon. Oh, I love this one. I think I've been so excited. Oh, I do not see why you will go back to Necromon in the middle of the Dexdorogora already happening. The reason for that is because the Dexdorogoramon player is the turn player. Oh no, sorry, the Necromon player is the turn player. So Dexdorogoramon will interrupt deletion to protect itself, but that's because its effect says would in text, meaning that it happens before whatever is triggering it. So in this case, when one of your Dorogoramon would be deleted by Digimon into this card without paying the cost, prevent that deletion. But that interruptive effect can only interrupt the action that is triggering it, which is Dorogoramon's deletion. After that, according to what I just read, every other trigger has to finish before we can resolve Dexdorogoramon's when digivolving. If that makes sense. Yeah. Sorry, I had to kind of make a double take myself too, because it is confusing. It is a weird interaction. That's exactly the type of interaction that's gonna cost me the test, maybe. But yeah, it's not going back in the middle of the Dorogora's effect. It's going back after the first effect resolve and the second one is pending. Yeah, it's a better way to look at it. So, anyways, for question 4, that is actually 3, I've been super excited to know the answer to this one because it sounds like a sick ass play. This is the play of all time for Justimon players, and it only requires you to set up like 30 cards. Justimon players, where are you at? You should be winning nationals. So, here you go. Is the following play valid? I have BT19064 Justimon Blitzarm Ace on the battle area. I declare an attack against the player and activate Blitzarm's when attacking effect to unsuspend by trashing a face-up option card. Oh, did I place option cards here? Yes, I did. Okay. Okay. I digivolve into EX8054 Justimon X antibody. Declare an attack with Justimon X and use its when attacking effect to trigger Blitzarms when digivolving to unsuspend again by trashing another face-up option card. I then digivolve into BT11073 Justimon Axelarm to gain security attack +1 and piercing by returning Justimon X to the hand from its sources. I then digivolve again into Justimon X. The Justimon X I just added to hand and use its when attacking effect to unsuspend a third time. This is so crazy. I love this. I love these plays that just are a complete blow up of like 7 bricks in your hand that you just have to make a play like that. Let's see if this is legal. We're gonna break it down little by little. Okay. So, what we know is that we have a Justimon Blitzarm Ace on the field. Let's learn about this card, because there are so many moving pieces in this that we just need to know what everything does. On play when digivolving, until the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon gains blocker and it isn't affected by their opponent's by their Digimon effect. Sorry. When digivolving, when attacking, once per turn, by trashing one option card in the battle area, this Digimon unsuspends. Okay, no, this one. This is how I feel thinking of this play, but also this because I feel so freaking excited. Okay, so the effect that we care about is the second one. By trashing one option card in the battle area, this Digimon unsuspends. Okay. So we have Blitzarm. It says that we digivolve it was an X antibody first, right? When attacking to, well, first I declare an attack. So we swing with Blitzarm and we trash one of these Rook devices. We're just gonna delete it. Boop, it's gone. to activate the when attacking effect, when Digimon when attacking, and unsuspend. We then Digivolve, oh, it's tiny, into Justimon X antibody. And Justimon X antibody says, Rush Piercing Secure Attack +1. When attacking once per turn, activate one when Digivolving effect of one Digimon card with Justimon in its name in this Digimon's Digivolution cards as an effect of this Digimon. Also, end of your turn, if your opponent has an unsuspended Digimon, this Digimon may attack a player. We're not gonna worry about that. We care about the when attacking effect. So, we would swing with Justimon X, and then activate Justimon Blitzarms when Digivolving effect to trash another. What did I just do? Hold on. No, it's fine. I just pressed the wrong key. That's fine. Okay. We delete another Rook device and unsuspend again. It says that then at this point we've checked 3 security, by the way, because 1 with Blitzarm and this has security attack +1, so 2 with X. I then Digivolve into BT11 Justimon Axelarm. So we're gonna Digivolve into Axelarm, whose effect says, I'm gonna make it bigger so I can read. By returning one level 6 Digimon card without Justimon Axelarm in its name from this Digimon's evolution cards to its owner's hand, this Digimon gains security attack +1 and piercing for the turn. When attacking, if you have a tamer in play, this Digimon can Digivolve into a Digimon card with Justimon in its name other than Justimon Axelarm in your hand for the evolution cost of 2, ignoring its evolution requirements. I don't think we care about that one, but we do care about the when Digivolving effect, because we now return Justimon X antibody back to hand from sources to give this Digimon secure attack +1 and piercing. So now this Digimon checks 2 securities, and it's able to pierce through another Digimon if you wanted to. However, I believe we don't swing with this, right? Yep. Yep. I Digivolve again into Justimon X. And to make sure that the evolution requirements of Justimon X are level 6 with Justimon in name without X antibody trait, which this meets. So Digivolve again. Oh, right, because hold on. Yoop. And then bring to front, and there we go. We Digivolve into this again, and now I Digivolve again into Justimon X. I decided to hand. Use this when attacking effect. So we attack again, and now this Justimon X is checking 3 securities. So now my opponent's security shields, unless they had like 8, are at 0 after this attack. And I activate Justimon Ace's effect again to get rid of the last device to unsuspend a 3rd time. And now I just swing for game, right? Now, I see no problem with this play, except for the fact that Blitzarm Ace says that this effect to unsuspend is once per turn. What kind of Wargreymon is this? Yes. No, this is cool Wargreymon. No, this is like this is a Kamen Rider, okay? And and it's cool because it kills you in one turn if this happens. I think. Again, the only problem that I see with this play is that it says when Digivolving when attacking once per turn by trashing one option card in the battle area, this Digimon on suspense. And I will just say, I absolutely have no idea um, if Justimon X antibody with its when attacking effect gets around that once per turn restriction. I hope so, and I want to say yes. Because I really want this play to be legal. I don't even have this deck. But I wanna see somebody getting blown the fuck up by this play someday. Um so we do know that Justimon X's when attacking effect is going to refresh because it's getting returned to hand. So there is no problem there. We know that that is 100% legal. The only question mark that I have is if it gets around Justimon Blitzarm Aces once per turn effect. And I'm going to say yes, again, because I want it to be real, and second of all, because I think it'd be stupid if it didn't. Um, so let's see the answer. Like I feel like Justimon X's effect would be dumb if it didn't get around that. Oh, okay. I figured out what the missing question was. I just copied the same the same one, the same link for 2 and 3. I found it, guys. Okay, well. Justimon X activating multiple Justimon when Digivolving effects. Yeah, we have this. Let's go! It says yes, you can do that. When Justimon X is returned to the hand and then gets Digivolved into again, it's a new card. Therefore, the once per turn on the when attacking has not been used yet. When cards are played in different placed in different areas, they are considered new cards, and the once per turn aren't used, even if it's the same physical card just being placed into a new location. And here's the other follow-up question that I had. So can Justimon X activate the unsuspend from Justimon Ace even if it has already been activated before? I thought you weren't able to activate it twice because it says once per turn. And it says the once per turn is tied to the effect. Just the X is only copying that effect on that card and activating it as his own effect. It is not specifically activating that same effect that just the Ace used because that effect no longer exists. So ladies and gentlemen, we have a blow-up play, and I love it because this play kills you from 6 security, and that is so fucking funny. I love that this is real. I love that I live in this timeline. Honestly, if this was the timeline where this play is not legal and Gura graduates, I would end it. But because this is a legal play, I will remain here. Because holy shit, that is so funny. um Anyways, back to your regularly scheduled very serious judging judging stream. We have question number 5. Sorry, needed a sip of water. Question number 5. If I have a Digimon with EX8024 Mega Seedramon as one of its evolution sources, can I place a token as the bottom evolution card to pay the cost to activate the inherited when attacking effect of Mega Seedramon? Okay, so full disclosure, I did cheat with this one because this is one that I know the answer for because I looked at it. Um, because I wasn't sure, but I was almost positive, and I got it right when I looked at the question in the server. But I thought it was interesting enough that I wanted to add it. They wanted to add it as well and talk about it. Um, because token cards are kind of weird. They don't have levels. They don't have play costs, but they're able to exist um, within the battle area. Um, a lot of the time they're not able to digivolve even though they have color, well, because they don't have level, right? um However, the only restraint for Megacidramon's inheritable effect, right here, is the only restraint is that you have to place a Digimon as a Digimon bot on the evolution card. And if you do, the Digimon on suspense. By placing one of your other Digimon as a Digimon bot on the evolution card, this Digimon on suspense. And that is the only effect that we care about. Metal Sidramon Ace is just there because it's the card that came to mind for me to, like, place on top of Mega Sidramon. But yeah, for this one, the answer is absolutely yes. Uh, you get to place the token card under to meet the requirement. Now, I don't remember if the answer to the question said that the token disappears, like it's removed from play, but you get to unsuspend anyways, or if it stays in sources. Obviously, it would be removed from play when Metal Ceramon leaves play. If anything, um, but yeah, that particular part of the question I don't remember. But in order, like, to pay the quote unquote cost to activate the effect of Mega Caesarmon, placing a token under the stack is definitely a valid play. Um, I am going to now pull up the answer just for confirmation. This question 5. Okay. Yes. It won't be counted as a card being added to its evolution cards, but it can fulfill the cost here. Okay. So, yeah, it says that it can be, basically what it's saying is that it can go into the sources. It will not count for something like Dorumon, where when you place a source under the evolution cards, you gain a memory. Apparently that won't trigger, and I guess that's a separate question and scenario as to why that's the case. But for the sake of, can I unsuspend Metal Sidramon when I do this? The answer is yes, you can. So clap, clap, clap. We did it. We unsuspended Metal Silvermoon by placing a token under it. All right, on to the next one. I have BT20 080 Fenrir Lugamon and BT20 089 Code Cracker Fang and Hacker Judge on the battle area. My opponent attacks my security and hits LM032 Purple Scramble using its security effect. I play BT20 064 Lugamon. I activate the unplay effect but add nothing to hand. Then the all turns effects of Codecracker Fang and Hacker Judge triggers, and I mind link it to Fenrir Lugamon's Digivolution sources, activating its all turns effect. Activating its all turns effect too, and I play a level 4 Digimon from trash. Am I allowed to attack at this time using the second part of Fenrir Lugamon's all turns effect and activate Alliance, even though it's my opponent's turn? Also, if I'm allowed to attack, is my opponent allowed to counterblast? So this is a very interesting scenario because in this hypothetical, you may have the chance to declare an attack during your opponent's turn. Which crazy if true. I actually don't know the answer to this one, and I've thought about it for a while, and I just can't make myself sure. I think it's one of those things where you just have to know the ruling. Like you have to have seen the. I'm gonna move myself up here. You have to just have seen the document, the CRM in this case. Um, I legit don't know, but I'm gonna try to figure it out, and I'm eager to find out. So okay, let's replicate the scenario with some visuals now. Agumon, it's my opponent's Digimon in this case. Just because, I mean, it's Digimon. Like, if it was Pokemon, would I not have Pikachu? So Agumon is gonna swing at security, and it's gonna check Purple Scramble. Now, Purple Scramble security effect triggers before anything else, of course. Because security effect, they always interrupt. And it says, security, you may play one purple Digimon card with 2000 DP or less from your trash without paying the cost. Then add this card to hand. So... So the effect is going to play Lugamon because it has 1000 DP. Right? So it's allowed to. I'm going to remove Purple Scramble from here so I have room for it. Okay, so Lugamon gets played. And its effect activates first because it's, it's the new trigger. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with the SOC or Seeker's trait and 1 Eiji Nagasumi among them to the hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. So for this particular scenario, to not complicate things, the person who proposed this scenario said that they didn't add anything. So that simplifies things. I don't have to have a fucking deck or anything. So nothing is added. However, Lugamon was played, which is triggering Code Cracker. What did I just do? Okay, we're not gonna talk about it. It's triggering Code Cracker Fang and Hacker Judge. And this says all turns, when any of your Digimon are played or Digivolve, you may mind link with one of your Digimon with Pulsemon in its text, or the Suck or Seeker's trait. So Fenrilugamon has Suck and Seeker's trait. It doesn't mention Pulsemon, I don't think, but it doesn't matter. So at this point, the player is choosing to mind link. So now Fenrilugamon is being mind linked. But that also triggers Fenrilugamon's all turns effect. That says, when Tamer cards are placed in these Digimon's Digivolution cards, activate one of these Digimons when Digivolving effects. Then one of your Digimon may attack a player. So, I don't know. He activates the when Digivolving effect and plays another Lugamon, let's say, because I didn't prepare any other cards, so, There you go. There's another Lugamon. And Lugamon gets played. And now Fenrilugamon, or rather, one of Fenrilugamon, no, one of the Fenrilugamon player's Digimon may attack a player as part of this effect. It doesn't say if it's your turn. So can Fenrilugamon shush add security and then use one of these for alliance? And I forgot to bring a, I don't know, an Agubon, I guess is what I should have brought here for counterblasting. But can the opponent also counterblast? Is this legal? Remember, it's the Agumon's. It's the Agumon player's turn, right? This is not my turn. This is the opponent's turn. Can I attack during my opponent's turn? This is crazy, but I remember, and I'm gonna go ahead and double check this real quick. Of Animon Ace, right? Of Animon Ace, if I remember correctly, has a stipulation that if it's your turn, you can attack. I'm gonna go ahead and read that card now. All turns when a card is removed from your security stack, if it's your turn, the Digimon gains security attack +1 for the turn and attacks. The Digimon, sorry, may gain security attack +1 for the turn and attack. If it's your opponent's turn, recovery 1 from deck. So this one specifically says that if it's your turn, you can attack. Granted, it might be because it has a separate effect when it's your opponent's turn. But what if it's not? What if this whole time you've been able to attack during your opponent's turn and the only thing holding you back is that, well, it's not your main phase, right? But if an attack lets you attack, if an effect lets you attack, is that legal? This is one that I just can't know the answer because I don't know the ruling about it, right? Like, I haven't read the document, so, and also I'm not planning to because that it's like a really long. Well, I imagine it is. I actually don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I should read it. I'm planning to take a test about it, so maybe I should read the study material. But fuck it, we ball. I can't really know, so I just have to kind of guess. I'm going to say yes. Fenrilugamon can attack because it'd be hilarious if it could. Um, I don't know. Let's see. I think it's the lesser probability gamble that I'm taking here. I think it's more likely that the document is gonna say no, you can't attack during your opponent's turn. But what if you can? Okay, so here's the question, the whole thing. Okay. Okay, thank God. So maybe I should read that document. The document says on chapter 11, 1, 2, I guess. I don't know how this is structured. Only the turn player can attack. So you're not allowed to attack on the opponent's turn, is the answer. Uh, you're only allowed to break underlying rules if the effect specifically says so, such as Vortex adding the Digimon can attack with this effect the turn it was played. Yeah. Um. Oh. So you can only break the rules if the card says that you can. Is what this is saying. Okay. Thank God. I guess. Um. 1 second. Hmm. Well. Um. Hold on. I gotta charge my headset. Mm. I don't know why I'm doing this, it doesn't matter, but I'm probably never using this again. Hey, but maybe I will. Okay. Question 7. Halfway there, guys. Quite literally this time because I forgot to add the number 15. I have EX7 014 Volcanic Dramon and EX3 014 Dorbigmon on the battle area, and a Machine Dragon in hand. I declare to play Dorbigmon, using both the Volcanic Dramon and Machine Dragon as Digicross materials. If I activate Volcanic Dramon's all turns effect, may I select to play the Machine Dragon that would be used as Digicross material, i.e. when Volcanic Dramon would leave the field, is the Machine Dragon still considered to be in hand? Okay. So we're declaring, yeah, okay. So what we care about here is, of course, Dorbigmon's Digicross condition, which is 5 Digimon cards with different names plus Dragon, Sword, or Ceratopsian in one of their traits. Which this is a Machine Dragon, which meets the requirement, and Volcanic Dramon is an Earth Dragon, which also obviously meets the requirement. So that's what we care about in the in terms of Dorbigmon. In terms of Volcanic Dramon, we care about the all turns effect that says when this Digimon would leave the battle area, other than by your effects. Remember that Digicross is not an effect; it's a mechanic. A technicism that has won me many a game by using it for cross art and like playing around, like it completely ignoring effects like Crimson Blaze, is that right? Yeah, that one, and like other similar cards. When this Digimon would leave the battle area, other than by your effects, you may play one Digimon card with the Machine Dragon or Sky Dragon trait from your hand without paying the cost. Yazarigmon is a Machine Dragon, so it would fulfill this condition. The question is, can I play that Machine Dragon? This is a weird like technicism in the rules, but I'm gonna say no. And the reason I'm saying no is because I recently learned that there is a like void limbo or some something area that cards go to when they're being processed for an effect or mechanic in some situations. Like for instance, when a card is being checked from security, it isn't on the board, it isn't on the field, it isn't on your hand, it isn't in trash. It just exists in a perpetual state of like insecurity, I guess. Like it exists, but it also doesn't. Which is a topic that physicists and psychiatrists should study. It is literally to be or not to be, and in that situation, it is both. And I don't know that is specifically the case for Digicross materials, but I'm gonna assume that it is. That Digicross materials don't exist anywhere when they've been declared to be used for Digicross materials. And during the time where they're being moved from where they are to under the Digimon. So I'm gonna say that Yazarigmon does not count as being in hand anymore. And at that point, it needs to be well, whatever, this can go on top, doesn't matter. It needs to be added to Dorbigmon sources whenever this finishes resolving instead of being played onto the board. I think this tag that you're seeing here is the end result of this. Um, and I think Volcanic Dramon and Yazarigmon are both being removed from their respective area. Volcanic Dramon from the field, Yazarigmon from the hand. At the same time, they're going into limbo, both of them, at once, and then being materialized again under Darbigmon. We're going to check if that's true. It's question 7. And it says, um, cross materials are all picked at the same time. Cards getting added in the battle area or hand between play and cross declaration are not able to be used. If you use a Machine Dragon as cross material with Volcanic Dramon, you cannot use that same Machine Dragon card as what you play out using Volcanic Dramon's effect. Yep. So there you go. There you go. By the way, that is a question that comes from a judge that is also answered by another judge. So, you know, I kinda like that. I hmm. I feel like my model is not moving. Did I pause it? Did I? I might have changed the input. Yeah, that's what happened. Okay, that's what happened. There we go. I'm talking again. Oh, okay. Um, I'm gonna take a very quick, like 3 minute or so break. I'm gonna fix the music because the playlist is over now. We've successfully listened to the entirety of Digimon World 3's OST. And now we have to choose something else. Uh, Maybe we'll do Digimon World Done. Are there like shorter versions though? Yeah, we'll just play this. All right. Uh, I'll leave that playing, and I'll be right back. It'll be a few minutes. You haven't been listening to music this whole time? God fucking damn it. Hey, look, it's music. I'll be back in a moment. And what I meant by my model is that it wasn't moving. I know that the hand. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna answer all your questions and then I'm gonna leave. Hold on. Okay. Uh, my model. You can't gaslight me. I know that I'm on screen. There I am. I'm talking and I'm blinking. What do you mean? I know the hand is fake, but the rest is real, right? Wait, what do you mean by that? You mean like the little hand that I'm using here on the? Oh, that. Yes, correct. My body is as you see before you. This is the result of the ancient ones touching what used to be a delicious dessert and granting it sentience, and also knowledge of the occult. So there you go. Also, is music also enabled in this? Yes, it is. Okay. I can't believe music was off this whole time. I am so pissed off about that. I'll be back in a moment. I need something. Whew. Okay. Okay. Sorry. What happened is, um, I was gonna eat before stream, but then I had lunch late, so I wasn't hungry, so I decided not to eat. And now, I don't know, possibly, I don't know, possibly 6 or 7 hours later, I am actually, I actually feel like there is no sugar in my blood. So I'm just having a Snickers. Um, Fuck you, you can't gaslight me. I know you can listen to the music. I can see that it's being streamed through. It's really low. Oh, okay, I can fix that for you. Mm, uh, tu, 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 tu. Mm, no, actually, I kind of want it to be low for me. Hold on, hold on. I'm playing with it. Give me a second. Um, no, I'm gonna have to boost it in my end too. Hold on. Is that better? You guys like that better? Okay, cool. Let me know if you need me to adjust it or add my microphone or anything. Okie doke. Let's move on to the next question while I finish the Snickers. Oh, this one's fun. I like this one. This was actually when I was talking about Limbo before. This is what I was talking about. So you may realize that I know the answer to this one. If BT15 084 Kari Kamiya or BT4 019 97 sorry Kari Kamiya are checked on security, do they activate the don't fucking say anything. Don't you fucking say anything. Activate their own all turns effects as a result of being played from their own security effect? Okay. Damn, this is a really good Snickers bar. So the question here is because both of these tamer cards have an all turns effect that pretty much triggers when a card is removed from security. When an effect removes cards from your security stack by suspending this tamer, one of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -1 until the end of their turn. That's Kari. And then Kari says when a card is removed from your security stack by suspending this tamer, gain 1 memory. So the question is, let's say my opponent attacks my security and they hit this Kari Kamiya, then she gets played. Is she allowed to suspend at this turn, at this time, to gain 1 memory? The answer is no. Because like I said on the previous example, these cards don't actually go from security to the field. They go from security to limbo to resolve their security effect, then go to the field. And because they're not moving directly from security to the field, it means that they've pretty much missed timing when it comes to triggering their own effect. So this one's pretty simple. For this one, the answer is no. Because Limbo exists and we're all going there. Okay. And the answer says, yep. No, check cards are removed from security the moment they're checked. So these are played from Limbo, or as the CRM puts it, they are in no particular zone. Yeah, so when a card is checked through regular means of an attack, a security check, it stops being in the game for a bit while it's checked, and then gets played back into the game. It's a really funny, funky, weird interaction thing that they made for this game for a reason that I'm sure is very important, but I don't know what it is. Anyways. Next question. I have BT13-007 Kingdrasil 7D6 in my breeding area. With more Kingdrasil sources, so you know there's more of this guy on the Reddit. I'm just not gonna bother. It doesn't matter. If I attack into my opponent's security and check BT13 110 Royal Knights of the Perch, and it is placed on my opponent's battle area due to its security effect, does Kingdrasil's inherited effect activate to gain me memory as a result? So something really funny happens here. What we care about is Kingdrasil's. I hate calling it that. From here on out, Yggdrasil. It's called Yggdrasil. So, Yggdrasil's inherited effect says when an option card with the Royal Knight trait is placed into the battle area, gain 1 memory. Remember, we're under the idea that there are more Yggdrasils on top of this one, so let's assume there are 3 sources with Yggdrasil. 3 sources that do the same thing. The way that this card is written, it doesn't say that it's placed in your battle area. So it does say that it has to be during your turn. But if you're in a mirror matchup and you hit security and check Royal Knights of the Perch, this is an option card that has Royal Knight in its traits. That is the condition for it. And this card says, on security, place this card in the battle area. So, does Yggdrasil generate memory from that interaction? I'm going to say that the answer is yes, because it doesn't say that it has to be from on my field that it's placed. It just says that when it's placed in the battle area. So if you're in the mirror matchup and you check Royal Knights of the Perch, remember to gain memory from Yggdrasil. I am going to go verify this answer now, but I am like very certain that I'm right. So it says it doesn't say your battle area, you know what I was just saying, and it is an option card with the Royal Knight trait being placed in a battle area. Since you mentioned they're just gonna explain that in the Japanese translation it also doesn't say that it's in your battle area. So yes, it triggers. There you go. So you gain memory. Remember to gain memory when you do the fucking Royal Knight mirror matchup and you're checking each other's options. This could legit win you the game. Anyways, next question. Number 10. We're almost done. I declare an attack with BT17-012 Burning Raven. Oh, this one I've been super curious about. I can't wait to find out the answer because I have no idea. Okay, so Burning Raven is attacking. Activated its when attacking effect to Digivolve into BT17-011 Agunimon. At that point, I activate Agnimon's effect to Digivolve into BT17-017 Ancient Greymon. As part of a Gunimon's effect, this Digimon will be deleted at the end of this turn after the attack resolves. I Digivolve into Ancient Greymon. Into BT20 102 Omnimon X antibody. And now the memory moves over to my opponent's side. If I activate Omnimon X's end of your turn effect, will the attack complete before a Gunimon's effect deletes Omnimon X? Let's go over this, because this one's interesting. Okay, so we have Burning Greymon. Normally this would be on top of a Takuya, it doesn't matter. Burning Greymon is gonna attack, and it says, when attacking, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with the hybrid trait in the hand with the Digivolution cost reduced by 1. So Burning Greymon swings at Security, and then by its effect, Digivolves into a Gunimon. Now a Gunimon's effect triggers, and it says, when Digivolving, if Burning Greymon is in this Digimon Digivolution cards, or you have a blue or green Digimon or Tamer, this Digimon may Digivolve into Ancient Greymon in the hand for a Digivolution cost of 3, ignoring its Digivolution requirements. If this effect Digivolved, delete this Digimon and at the end of this turn. So we're kind of giving ourselves a end of turn trigger here. It doesn't specifically have the blue like, you know, square, like the blue ruling text thingy with that says end of turn, but it's essentially what we're doing, right? So Agunimon will activate its effect and Digivolve into Ancient Greymon. And Ancient Greymon is suspended because it's attacking, but we're gonna read Ancient Greymon's effect, even though I don't think it matters. On play, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon. On deletion, return one Tamer card and one hybrid trait Digimon card from your trash to the hand. Then you may play one Tamer card from your hand without paying the cost. Yeah, that doesn't matter. So Ancient Greymon is attacking, right? And at the end of the turn, remember, Agunimon's effect is going to delete Ancient Greymon. Now, as for my final play, because I had like 7 memory this turn, I suppose, I am going to Digivolve into Omnimon X Antibody. An Omnimon X Antibody, well, it's gonna be suspended, we're gonna fix that in a second. But it says, on play when Digivolving, if Omnimon or X Antibodies in this Digimon Evolution cards, choose one of both players' Digimon and delete all other Digimon, then return one of your opponent's Digimon to the bottom of the deck. So in this situation, it's only gonna bottom deck one Digimon. That doesn't matter for this situation. What we're interested on is the second effect. End of your turn, once per turn. One of your Digimon may gain Rush for the turn and attack without suspending. Now this is interesting, because yeah, Omnimon X is suspended, but you can select him as the end of turn trigger target to have him attack without suspending. So even though he is suspended, this is like the same thing as with Arrested Dramon Superior Mode or a Sendrilmon with Overclock. You don't have to suspend. Why? Oh, it's because of the. Don't worry about my model. It will fix in a moment. Okay. So. Jesus Christ. So, but we also have the other end of turn sort of trigger, right, from Agunimon that says that this Digimon is going to be deleted at the end of turn. Now, I am the turn player, so I do get to choose which of these effects trigger first. So obviously I'm going to choose Omnimon's effect first to declare the attack. The question is Omnimon going to be able to finish that attack, or does the end of turn trigger kill it before it can um, resolve that combat. I've been thinking about this one for a bit, and I am of the opinion that Omnimon X will die before it is able to complete combat. The reason why is because gain rush for the turn and attack without suspending. If I understand how this game treats the word attack in its effects correctly, all it means is that you get to declare the attack. And then the rest of the end of turn triggers must resolve before combat can happen. So, if my understanding is correctly, Omnimon X Antibody will Digivolve, it will declare that it wants to swing at security, and then it will fucking explode. That is what I think. It's kind of up in the air for me. But I think the end of turn triggers have to resolve before we can proceed to combat, and if this end of turn trigger from Agunimon resolves, then Omnimon X is fucking dead. Let's look at the answer. Because really, I can't give you any more certainty. I'm just gonna have to read the answer. Okay. Okay, so the judge, their answer says, after when attackings activate, if any, you have to resolve the pending processing of the end of turn deletion. So mid-attack deletion, yes, before counter timing. Okay, yes, so it dies before counter timing, meaning that it long before it is able to check any security or, you know, hit a player. So what we're saying is that this play is pointless. And also I am very smart and I know how this game works. Thank you. Okay, that one was fun. That one had me legitimately wondering for a bit. Because it could have gone either way, though I kind of had an inkling, you know, that it couldn't end, you know, with this thing swinging. Anyways, question 11. I have BT10 066 Dark Knightmon with BT10 061 Skull Knightmon Mighty Axe Mode in its evolution sources and P154 Maeldramon on the battle area. We're going back a little. We're looking at all cards now. My opponent uses ST116 Gaia Force to attempt to delete Dark Knightmon, and I activate Maeldramon's all turns effect to prevent its deletion. At this point, can I activate Dark Knightmon's effect to return Maeldramon to hand and play out Skull Knightmon, even though Dark Knightmon's deletion has already been prevented? This is one I'm pretty sure I checked the answer for. I don't remember 100% what it said, or if I did. But I feel like I know the answer, just based on the interaction and how it's very similar to X-Antibody Protoform. Let's go over it. So, what we need to know here is Maeldramon has this all turns effect that says, when any of your Digimon with Knightmon in their text would leave the battle area by your opponent's effects, by placing this Digimon as any of those Digimon's bottom evolution cards, they do not leave. So this would prevent the Digimon from leaving battle area. Actually, I think this Maeldramon is somehow recent, but the rest of these cards are kind of old. Well, Gaia Force is very old. This thing says, Dark Knightmon says, all turns when this Digimon would be deleted, by returning one level 4 or lower black Digimon card from this Digimon the evolution cards to its owner's hand, you may play one Skull Knightmon or Deadly Axemon from this Digimon the evolution cards without paying its cost. So this is Dark Demon. This is the Matryoshka deck, right? This is you kill. This is a Russian doll. You kill one and then fucking 7 come out, and they all gain blocker because Nene. So we're swinging Gaia Force into Dark Demon. Bah! And it's going to die. But Meldramon is a hero, and it goes, oh no, I'm gonna put myself in your sources so that you don't die. Now, both of these all turns effects can be triggered, you know, whenever I want. I get to choose which one to activate first. For this scenario, they've chosen to activate Meldramon first. So that's what we're gonna do. And so Dark Demon is no longer going to leave the area. However, it was going to leave at some point because Gaia Force is trying to delete it. That effect has been triggered, and there is no such thing in Digimon as a deep trigger. You cannot cancel a triggered effect. So this effect has to resolve. Now, this effect is optional because it's a buy effect, right? So by returning one level 4 or lower black Digimon card from this Digimon's Evolution card to its owner's hand, you may play one Skull Knightmon or Deadly Axemon from this Digimon's Evolution cards without paying the cost. You don't have to do it, but the question is, can you? And the answer is yes. Because again, this effect has already been triggered, so now I can actually just wait, what does it say that I have to return? One level 4 or lower black Digimon card from these sources, yeah. So now I can return Meldramon back to hand. Let's say, I don't know, let's say I put it in hand there. And then I can play this out, Skull Knightmon Mighty Axe mode. And now I have both of these on the board and this thing in my hand. Oh, you can't see it. This thing in my hand, I'm gonna place it like here. So yes, you can activate Dark Demon's effect, is my answer. We're gonna check the official answer. Oh, that's what that does, okay. Okay. And it says, yes, that is possible, since both trigger when the Dark Demon would be deleted / leave the battle area. You get to choose the order in which you do them. So there you go. Legal play. Congratulations, you did not get a warning. Question 12. After I take a sip of water. Okay, question 12. I have a suspended Galanmon and an EX2 056 Takato Matsuki. My opponent has an EX7 040 Gundramon with EX7 070 Der Blitz in its Evolution sources. I forgot to add that, whatever. I Digivolve Galanmon into EX8 073 Galanmon X Antibody and use its when Digivolving effect to get 4 KDP while subtracting 4 KDP from Gundramon. I then try to use Galanmon X's other when Digivolving effect to delete Gundramon. Gundramon uses its all turns effect and trashes their Blitz to prevent its deletion. And so, because Galanmon X's effect didn't delete, I trash my opponent's top security and unsuspend. Their Blitz's effect triggers and they Digivolves Galanmon X back to Galanmon. Since the Takato gave Galanmon X when Digivolving Blitz, can I now attack with Galanmon? This is another... There you go. Another example of... Sorry, this was bothering me. It's another example of you can't untrigger effects. What do I mean? Well, Galanmon is going to... First of all, Galanmon is to... I didn't put the Takato in. Oh, you can see that. I don't want you to see that. Okay, hold on a sec. I'm looking for a Takato. Takato, 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 Takato. Takato. No. Hold on, I'm doing very professional work because I totally didn't forget to do this before. Hey, look, it's like magic. I have a Takato Matsuki now. Okay. I'm going to separate this as... I didn't think I needed to, but now that I see this many cards, I don't want to have all of this together. So we're going to separate it as my cards and my opponent's cards. So I am now playing Galamon apparently, which anyone who knows me knows that I'm ecstatic about. I'm so happy. It's my favorite deck of all times. I don't hate it at all. And now we have Takato. Okay. Galamon is suspended. I need to make this guy smaller. Where's that? What the fuck? Oh! There we go. Okay. Galamon is suspended, and it's digivolved into... God damn it. There you go. Digivolved into Galamon X Antibody. Galamon X Antibody has 2 when digivolving effects. Obviously, you get to trigger them in whatever order you wanna trigger them on, but in this case, they activate the top one first and then the bottom one. The top one says that if you have Galamon or X Antibody in the sources, until the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon gains 4000 DP, and one of their Digimon loses 4000 DP. So Gundramon is dropped to 8000 DP, Galamon X rises to 16k DP. Second one, the evolving effect says, delete one of your opponent's 10,000 DP or lower Digimon. If this effect didn't delete, trash their top security card and this Digimon on suspense. Now, Takato is very important in this at this moment because he has a third when the evolving effect that he's giving to Galamon X Antibody, which is when the evolving Blitz, which means that, you know, he can swing, even if the memory is on the opponent's side. So Galamon X tries to delete Gundramon. Gundramon protects itself by removing their blades from its sources, and the trash their blades effect it's spending until Galamon's effect finishes resolving. Since it couldn't delete Gundramon, it says that it trashes the opponent's top security and on suspense. Yeah. So it is now unsuspended, and my opponent has 1 less security. Now, the effect that's the newest trigger and that's next in the queue is actually their Blitz. Which says... This one's great. This is my best my best slide yet. It says, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. No, sorry, that's a security effect. I'm fucking stupid. When effects trash this card from the evolution cards, the Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. So the target for this, now that the effect of Galamon X is resolved, is Galamon X. So Galamon X gets the Digivolved back into Galamon, who is now unsuspended because that already happened. Um, the question, the when the evolving blitz is pending, can Galamon, who's now been the Digivolve, attack? Yes, it can use blitz. Even though, again, even though it's been the Digivolve, the effect already triggered because the condition was to Digivolve, and it did Digivolve, and at that point it gained Blitz. So that effect already triggered, and you can't untrigger an effect. Now, you don't have to attack with Blitz, obviously, but you can. So, yes, the answer is Galamon can attack using Blitz, even after being the Digivolved. I'm going to go look up the answer while while you have this mess on the screen. And it says, hold on, I'm gonna move this over. I can do both at the same time. It says yes, you can still attack with Galamon using Blitz. The effect of when Digivolving is still triggered, so you can still activate it. There you go. I'm gonna remove the Takato because there's like no room here. Okay. Next question seems to be a shorter one. Question 13. Which this one's whatever. Question 13, which is 12, I think. If I have a BT20055 Invisimon face up in my security and my opponent has a BT14009 Gatsumon, what happens with Invisimon at the end of opponent's turn? Okay, this is a newer card, so I don't know, maybe some people don't know it. But this Digimon is kind of interesting. Apparently it's a nightmare in competitive Digimon right now. With obviously the Galaxy engine, which... Man, I love the Galaxy deck, but holy shit, that engine is a problem. What I mean when I say that I love the Galaxy deck is I love Apollomon and Dianamon. And I love Grace Novamon. Anyways. The effect that we care about is while on security face up, end of opponent's turn, play this card without paying the cost. Now Gatsumon says, players can't play Digimon by effects. So if this is face up in security, what gives? What happens now? Well, the stipulation of Gatsumon says that you can't play Digimon by effects. So I'm going to assume that Invisimon just stays in security. I remember that the person who posted this question was wondering if Invisimon had to be discarded or, you know, something else. I think it's not that complicated. I think it just doesn't leave security. So I am going to check that. I don't really have much more to say about this one, I think. Yeah, it stays in the security stack. Yeah. So there you go. That one was simple. They don't all have to be super complicated scenarios. Question 14, second to last, because yeah, we still actually have to count up to 15. That's how numbers work, even when you skip one. I Digivolve into BT20053 Greatmon. I love this. And activate its when Digivolving effect to play BT20010 Ryudamon in the empty. Don't fucking say anything again. In the empty racing area. Yeah, that's how you spell that, right? Now I'm second guessing myself. I have BT089 Mimi Tachikawa, and I decide to activate her main effect to move Ryudamon from breeding to the battle area. Is Ryudamon allowed to attack? Um, so this is a very specific, funny ruling that exists in this game. Um, so let's break it down. Um, do, 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 do. I digivolved into Greymon, yeah? And then Greymon's effect says, you may play one Dorumon or Ryudamon from your hand to your empty breathing area without paying the cost. So following that effect, because the rest of the effect is not going to trigger because I decided not to attack because it doesn't matter for this example. Ryudamon gets played in breathing. Once there, we can look at Mimi's main effect, which says if you have a level 5 or higher. I chose. Hold on, I'm gonna fix this. Give me 1 second. I chose the wrong card. Give me a second. Well, now I can't play. Oh, I have an idea. I know how to fix this. It's stupid, but I will fix it. Oh hey, wow! I have a level 5 green Digimon on the board now. Whoa, how did that happen? It doesn't matter. Okay. So Mimi says, God damn it, Mimi. Mimi says, if you have a level 5 or higher green Digimon in play, you can spend this tamer to hatch one Digiegg to an empty space in your breeding area, or move one level 3 or higher Digimon from your breeding area to your battle area. Sometimes I adjust these scenarios when they're not like very specific, when they're posted on the Discord, and then I forget that you have to be very careful when adapting this, because sometimes there are requirements that I just don't look at. And I forgot that you need a green level 5. I thought it was just a level 5 for Mimi. So that's my bad. What the fuck? Okay, sure, whatever. Okay, so we're gonna tap Mimi now that we have a green level 5. And we're gonna move Ryudamon to the battle area. The question is, can Ryudamon attack? And the answer I do know for this one is no. Because Ryudamon was played. And you might be thinking, hey, it's Flan. Hey, Flan. Why would that be the case? Ryudamon is coming from racing. It's considered to have been, coming from breeding. It should be able to attack. Well, the reason for that is that it's not a... That's weird. The reason for that is that this Digimon was played. It wasn't bred, there was no Digitama that hatched that Ryudamon Digivolved on top of. It was just played in the breeding area. And a played Digimon cannot attack the turn that it is played. And that is just the answer. And oh, that's why you couldn't see that side of the fucking board. And that is the answer to that question. We're gonna go double check it. What number do I have this labeled as? 14, okay. Mimi God, green. Yeah, you would. You would say that. Yep, as per the official Q&A for EX5, which has the examples of the Devas, which was the original example that somebody put. I just didn't want to go look at the needed Devas, and I guess I would have had to find a green one anyways. Yeah, they can't attack. Yes, but I play green for the loose. You know what? I cannot discuss that. You could be playing stuff like... No, really, there's nothing strong in green right now. I was gonna say Sephagamon. Sephagamon is good, but... Moving on to the final question of today. I have EX6 006 Gate of 7 Deadly Sins, which is Rizbai's favorite card in the entire game. In my breeding area. Its start of your main phase effect activates and attempts to delete EX6 054 Lucemon Chaos Mode, which is my favorite card in the entire planet. Wink wink, nudge nudge, I am being sarcastic right now. Lucemon's effect interrupts and plays out EX6 056 Belsemon. At this point, what happens first? Do I have to place a 7th grade Demon Lord trade Digimon in the gate sources, or trash from 4 cards from top of my deck and the Digivolve? Okay. So this is a question, simple question about sequencing and you know how effects are resolved. I expect a lot of this to be on the test, because if you've noticed, there's been a lot in this ruling in this like studies sessions. Just because there's a lot of them posted on the server, and I do get it. It's the most confusing part of the game a lot of the time. And sometimes it doesn't matter, but a lot of the times it can really change a game. So, for this one specifically, we're talking about Gate of Deadly Sins start of main phase effect, which is place the top card of your Digi-Egg deck as this Digimon's bottom Evolution card, and delete all of your Digimon. If this effect deleted, place 1 7th grade Demon Lord's trade card from your trash as this Digimon bottom Evolution card. So Gate is triggering and it's deleting Lucemon Chaos Mode. And Lucemon Chaos Mode says, when this Digimon would leave the battle area by returning 1 Lucemon from its Evolution cards or your trash to the bottom of the deck, you may play 1 Lucemon Satan Mode or 1 level 6 7th grade Demon Lord. Trade Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost. So in this scenario, we're assuming that we're returning a level 3 Lucemon to the bottom of the deck, either from sources or trash, to play out Belsemon. Obviously, Belsemon is not going to be deleted by the gate because the deletion already happened. That's what triggered Lucemon's interruptive effect. And even though it is an interruptive effect, it doesn't mean that the deletion was put on... The deletion is going to trigger again. The deletion already happened. So, anyways, Belzemon gets play out, and Belzemon says, trash the top 4 cards of your deck. Then, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, they Digivolve to one of your opponent's Digimon. But also, Gate of Deadly Sins since its effect was interrupted, because it only got to the part where it says and delete all of your Digimon. There's a second part to it that says, if this effect deleted, place 1 7th grade Demon Lord's trait card from your trash as is Digimon's bottom evolution card. And so, the answer to this one is that you have to put the source under the gate before Belzemon gets to activate its on-play effect. It does get played before you put Luzemon or whatever source you choose from your trash under the gate, but it doesn't get to trash and the Digivolve until the interrupted effect finishes resolving, because you can't have an effect mid-resolve. You have to resolve it completely. So, because this was interrupted at the first section and then it needed to add a source at the second part of that effect, that has to happen first. And then Belzemon will trash 4 cards from the top of your deck and the Digivolve to one of your opponent's Digimon, assuming that you have 10 or more cards in trash. Which, if you're playing 7th grade Demon Lords, I sure hope that you have at least 10 cards in trash. That is the bare minimum. So, we're gonna go confirm that last answer. And it says, Gate of 7 Deadly Sins active. No, sorry, that's the question. You must finish Gate's effect in entirety before moving to Belzemon's own play. There you go. So exactly like I said. How many did I get right today? I feel like I missed 2? Is that right? I got this one right. I got this one wrong. I missed 43. Wow. Yeah, I guess I'm canceling my application. Not taking this fucking test. Got this one right. Got this one right. Well, and I kind of already knew that one. I got this one wrong because I didn't know you can't attack during your opponent's turn, which makes sense. Got this one right. No, just 2, I think. Yeah, I think 2 is correct. Got this one right. 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 Yep, got it right. This one I set up incorrectly, but I got it right. And then this one, yeah. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Test is next, not tomorrow, but the Thursday after. So, but I'm feeling pretty okay. I think I have a decent chance of getting certified. Cool. Alright. Well, hey, it's been Flan. Maybe that's my outro. Maybe that's what I have to say. I've been thinking about it. Hey, it's been Flan, and thank you very much for watching. I don't know why I'm clapping. I'm gonna stop now. And I'm gonna have another study session probably next Tuesday is what I'm gonna aim for, but it might also be Wednesday. I'm not sure, but yeah, if this sort of thing interests you, feel free to tune in and send me your questions if you have any. Maybe I'll put them in the video, or maybe I can just answer privately. Thank you. Have a good night. I don't know how to end my... Oh, here we go. Oh, wait, hold on. What? If you would be able to dedicate this energy... Well, my brain is very particular, and it is hyper fixated on this right now. I will talk to you